Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today's November 21st, almost Thanksgiving. Let's talk about every game happened on Thursday, November 20th. We have four games. Let's talk about them, only four. The first game is the Clippers. They lost to the Magic. My goodness, the Clippers, they're 4 in it. They are 12th seed right now, 4 and 11. And without Kawhi Leonard, their last 10 games, I don't know how many games Kawhi missed, but their last 10 games, they're 1 and 9. They got to Kawhi needs to come back before this get out of hands. Um, well, they're still like right there with the 10th seed. Somehow the Utah Jazz is the 10th seed um, at the moment. All right, let's see. The Clippers. Harden has been playing amazing basketball. 30 minutes because this was a blowout. 31 points, 10 for 12 on the free throw line, 8 assists, 2 steals. He's doing it at this age. Amazing. Um, hasn't really missed any games either. Pretty good stuff from Harden. Zubac, 19 rebounds is really good, 14 points, but nothing else. John Collins, they keep starting him, just continue not to do much. And, Bogdanovic, I had some high hopes for him. He just hasn't done much either on this team. I don't know what it is. Like, these guys are not playing. Like, Brook Lopez played just 5 minutes. He was a -7. So it's either they're not leveraging these guys properly, not put them in good positions, or like something's going on with this team at the moment. I mean, they got some quality players. Like Brook Lopez can give you a good 10, 15 minutes. Um, I don't know. They played this guy, Kobe Sanders, he had 5 turnovers and 4 fouls. Why you play him? Yeah. I know Magic might be a good defensive team. But yeah, these guys feel like they're not playing well. Like Harden is playing well, but everybody else is not. For the Magic, that's why they need Kawhi back. Hopefully this weekend. The next, the Magic, well, they're kind of rolling at the moment. Without Bankero, that's no problem. Well, they're the 9th seed. They won 2 straight. They're actually 7-3 in the last 10 games. They're gonna be like, 7, 8 seed. They're probably gonna make the playoffs. Trading everybody for Desmond Bain, who, 7 rebound, 5 assists, a steal, and 3 threes is okay, but come on. Desmond probably needs to do more to justify where he was getting drafted. Now, even with no Bankero, imagine Bankero comes back. Jalen Suggs had a big one, 5 threes, 7 assists with 2 steals and 2 blocks. Absolutely must roster. And Anthony Black has been popping off as well. Had 4 steals here and 12 points with 29 minutes. Yeah, with Bankero out, they've been giving him some extra minutes, so we could definitely roster him and just see how he does. He's been putting up pretty good numbers. And Tristan da Silva as well, 30 minutes here with 17 points. In the short term, right, he's getting good minutes and some usage. He took 17 shots as a matter of fact, so roster him. And Franz Wagner had 20 points. Yeah, nobody played that well, but it doesn't matter. They blew out the Clippers. The next game, well, both teams are kind of a mess right now. But the Kings, well, the news came out that Sabonis is going to be out for a couple weeks. And DeRozan plays 15 minutes. He had 4 fouls. The roster construction just don't really make a lot of sense. They got Russell Westbrook, right? And they also have Dennis Schroeder. And they play all these guys. Russell Westbrook started, played just 20 minutes here. He needs to be rostered at the moment at least, but try to sell high. Same thing with Dennis Schroeder. We got to sell him. Oh my goodness, 0 for 8. I mean, he had a good stretch to start off the season. But now, right, he's now starting. He's coming off the bench. He could be droppable very, very soon if you keep this up. He's right now for sure, he's hurting you more than he's helping you. Malik Monk, I would hold on to him for a little longer, but like now Keegan Murray is back. He starts, he'll get 32 minutes. So some of these minutes are going away for both Malik Monk and Dennis Schroeder. And then they're starting Russell Westbrook. So who knows? Maybe one game they give Shooter a lot more minutes. One game they give Malik Monk a lot more minutes, but it doesn't look so good right now for these guys. Zach LaVine, only guy who had a decent game with 26 points and 4 threes. But yeah, for the Kings, if they keep going this way, try to unload all these guys. For the Grizzlies, because they might just pull the trigger and rebuild. Maybe trade away some of these guys. So it might be good. Like if LaVine goes to a different situation, or DeRozan goes to a different situation, goes to a contender. But these guys make too much money. I don't know if there will be a trade that makes sense for these guys. For the Grizzlies, Santi Aldama popped off. I guess that's why we have him. He just hasn't done much until this game because the Kings, they don't really play any defense. 29 points is great and 5 threes with 2 blocks. The minutes were low across the board because of the blowout. And how about Vince Williams? Let's roster him. Only 4 points, but he had 15 assists and 2 steals. Sindri Coward continued to play super well. 19 points, 4 assists, and 4 threes in just 25 minutes. They don't need Jerry Jackson Jr. and they don't need John Morant. Just the way how they play. And to be fair, to be honest, like Jerry Jackson Jr. He's a great defender, but offensively, he's okay. Like he's a guy that shoot a lot of threes, but efficiency wise, he's not that good. So like you could argue on the defense, offensive end, Santi Aldama is better. And then on defense this year, I don't know how good he is. Like he was a defensive player candidate last couple years, but this year he has no blocks. Maybe he's doing a good job defending the rim without fouling, but I don't know. And of course, Ja Morant. This has been the narrative for years. Like the Grizzlies are winning games without him, even a couple years ago, right? When Grizzlies were like top of the West, right? Ja Morant will be out for weeks, and they be doing all right. And where's Scottie Pippen Jr.? Why are they not playing him? I guess he's hurt. Yeah, he's hurt. Otherwise, Scottie Pippen Jr. could be a really good pickup. Playing 35 minutes, he can really put up numbers. Zach Edey, yes, he needs to be rostered 7 for 7. That's great. Moving on to the next game, we have this game went overtime. 76ers and the Bucks. Bucks put up a fight, but Tyrese Maxey goes for 54 points. He's been so good. Tyrese Maxey, he's a 4th ranked player. He's been so good. My God, he's averaging 33 points. Right up there with Luka, 4 threes. He's playing 40 minutes. That's also a bit high. Well, now that Paul George is back, even if when Embiid is back, he's by far the number 1 option. So he is going to get his usage is going to continue to be sky high, and maybe the minutes could come down a little bit. But other than the points and threes, if you look, like he's getting 5 rebounds. He's getting 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Those are really good numbers. And one thing about him last couple years is that he doesn't get you defensive stats. And how about this year? 1.6 steals and 0.9 blocks. And he's fairly efficient. Like he's not a guard that shoot low 40s, shooting 47% from the field and 88% from the free throw line. Yeah, he's going to have a big year. To be honest, he might be in the MVP conversation, but like the Sixers they're not good enough. But in terms of counting numbers, he's right up there with Jokic, Luka, right? All these guys averaging 33 points. VJ Edgecombe also great. Like he's still getting big minutes. Paul George, his minutes gonna keep going up, but VJ is still getting 38 minutes, so that's good. And Quentin Grimes still gets 38. So there are a couple of guys that clearly Nick Nurse trusts. Quentin Grimes is one of them, so roster him. But of course, try to sell him if you could. Paul George, his minutes is ramping up, and eventually he's gonna get big minutes. Not a bad game, but the Bucks defense, I don't know. Paul George is gonna be hot and cold, but he's obviously a must roster. 4 threes, 2 steals, and 21 points is a pretty good game from Paul George. And our bar for him, we don't have huge expectations. We don't expect him to be a top 20, but top 50, top 60, I think is still totally doable. All right, we look at the Bucks. Right, they're 8-8, but Giannis is going to be out for a little while. But don't need to be too worried in the East because East is a little bit weak. Although record-wise, the 10th seed right now is the Celtics, who has a better record than the West Conference 10th seed team. So right now, I think the Eastern Conference actually they're beating Western Conference teams more. So. Kyle Kuzma, 2 steals and a block, 17 points, pretty good. But efficiency-wise, it's pretty horrible. At 4 personal fouls. Bobby Portis needs to be picked up in the short term. Really good for some points and rebounds and some efficiency. While Miles Turner had 14 points and no blocks. And we gotta talk about Ryan Rollins. My God, 32 points and 14 assists. With Giannis, he's basically the second best player. For sure. He's by far the second best player on this team. Well, fantasy-wise, 100%. He's a 40th ranked player. But you see, like, what kind of numbers he could put up. Of course, right, the team's going to have to adjust to him. But he's a good player. Like he's gonna figure out. He's smart. Doesn't really force too many things. Getting those assists, really big game here. And he's a guy that most likely you picked him up off the waiver wire, right? Because coming into the season, the expectation is Michael Porter Jr. is going to start. But then he's out. He played one game, not even. And then Ryan Rollins, so he could be pickup of the year. He should have really good value the rest of the way as well. Top 50 player. Moving on to the next game, we only have 4 games. The last game is the Atlanta Hawks. They lost to the Spurs. The Spurs are winning games, which is pretty impressive without Wemby. They're the 5th seed and they won the last 2 games. They beat the Grizzlies as well. So Grizzlies are not a good team, but still without Wemby, they did it. And for the Kings, for the Atlanta Hawks, oh my God, Nickeil Alexander-Walker could not miss a shot, 8 threes, 38 points. When he was on the Timberwolves, he really wasn't all that involved offensively. We know he could put up numbers, like put up points, but he's always, even when all the guys were out, like he wasn't taking so many shots. And here we go, 38 points, great. But try to sell him if you can. Trey is gonna be back, but even with Trey Young back, he should still be getting close to 30 minutes off the bench. 70th ranked player, averaging almost 20 points, and with pretty good efficiency, and with 1 steal and a block. So he's blocking a lot of shots as well. He had 3 blocks here. Dyson Daniels, 3 steals, 5 assists. Could be better, but he's been improving since beginning of the season slowly. And the Atlanta Hawks, they have so many good fantasy players actually. Like Okongwu off the bench. With Porzingis back, he didn't put up the numbers he was putting up. No defensive stats, but still 3 threes, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. I think is good enough. Hopefully he can play more minutes. That's the main thing. He's gonna put up numbers, but of course, with Porzingis, a lot of games he's gonna get 35 because Porzingis is gonna miss games. Porzingis also in 29 minutes, pretty good, right? Did exactly what we'd expect him to do, like 17, 18 points with 2 blocks, with good efficiency and 2 threes. And Jalen Johnson, of course, the best fantasy. Actually, yeah, he should be better than Trey in category leagues at this point. If he make his free throws, 4 for 6 here, I do worry about his free throw shooting, but everything else, I'm not too worried. And of course, his efficiency, like high turnovers too. But, that's what it is. 7 assists here, 12 rebounds, 2 threes. Look, if you can get him back for like a top 10 player or top 15 player, I would still do it. I don't think he is that good. Especially efficiency-wise. And this year, another thing is he's just not blocking any shots. And if he doesn't give you a block a game, right, his value goes down a lot. He's only averaging 0.3. So, and of course, Trey Young has been out. That also boosts his usage a little bit. So yeah, if you can get a James Harden or Steph Curry, these type of players, for sure you do it. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.